Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back with another video. In this video, guys, we're gonna talk about some shocking discovery into Wendy Williams' conservatorship. Now, as you guys may or may not be aware of, yesterday there was a peaceful protest by Wendy Williams supporters, and Wendy Williams could be seen at the window of her Kateri, if that's how it's pronounced, and she was, supporting her supporters. She was waving to them. She was dressed and ready for the occasion. But as you all know, she's been held hostage against her will, because it was like, I think this was on May 15th, if not May 5th, that she went to court, and the judge basically said that she could choose her own living facility, which meant if she wanted to rent a condo, she could have done so. However, the judge that is presiding over Wendy Williams' guardianship has blocked it. They are determined to keep Wendy in this luxury prison where she doesn't even have access to the elevator. So as such, the fans are determined to put up a fight in support of Wendy Williams. Now, Ginalisa, that's her advocate, her healthcare advocate, is saying that Wendy Williams initially requested to be in a conservatorship, but she had no idea it would have taken such a grim turn. Now, as you guys can remember, it was revealed to the public that her son made luxurious purchases. He was withdrawing large sums of cash, making heavy purchases, and that is what flagged her account. And Wells Fargo was like, you have to get a conservator on this account because money has been coming out in ways it shouldn't have to be taken care of Wendy. What the internet believes is that Kevin Hunter, Wendy Williams' ex-husband, was orchestrating their son to manipulate his mom, and now it has thrown Wendy in a conservatorship position. Now, whether or not Wendy asked for this conservatorship, let's say, according to what her healthcare advocate is saying is correct. She did ask for it. Okay, fine. I definitely understand. But now she's asking to be out of it. So she asked for it. People were happy to put her in it, but now she's asking to be out of it. They are still holding her hostage. And I believe that this is because of Sabrina Marissi. Let me explain. Sabrina Marissi, this is her guardian. Something happened most recently which basically pulled our attention to the possibility of fraud being committed by this guardian, Sabrina Marissi. And also, many of us believe that Sabrina is doing things to make Wendy look crazy. For example, when Wendy said that she had no idea if she would have been allowed to spend her father's 94th birthday with him, they were like, they have no problems with Wendy going and coming as she pleased. No one is stopping her. But irrespective of that, she was only given 2 days. Remember, they said that Wendy has the freedom to go and come as she please. But when you restrict someone to see 2 days, that's not them having free will. They're basically proving Wendy's point, and it doesn't stop there. Sabrina gave Wendy, I think it was either a prepaid card or a credit card. There was no money loaded on the card. So Wendy's family and her friends, they had to pay for everything for her. So what critics believe Sabrina took that money for herself and then plans to use that against Wendy to say, oh, she's just losing it because here, I did load the money on that card. While the card that has the cash, the critics believe that Sabrina Marissi took that card and that money for herself. So as such, they are claiming that Sabrina, along with the judge, allegedly is robbing Wendy Williams blind, allegedly. I don't know how factual this is, but I can say that the situation with the card makes it look so suspicious. Not only that, the mere fact that she passed the mental capacity test, it's very indicative that no matter what she does going forward, they are determined to hold her hostage, because if she asks to be in that situation and she's saying that, listen, this no longer serves me and I want to be out of it, why is she being held against her will? And even if Wendy had dementia, it is absolutely no reason for them to be confining her to the level that they are, because she has family members who are very much alive, well, pretty educated, and they are willing to assist her. So as such, there's so many red flags about this conservatorship. But I'm going to dive into this report just to give you guys exactly what media outlets are saying. Now, according to People magazine, Wendy Williams healthcare advocate Ginalisa Monterroso tells People that the former talk show originally wanted to be in a guardianship despite her desire to end it now. Monterroso claims Williams passed the mental capacity exam during her hospital visit on March 10, adding she was alert and oriented, and we were satisfied with that. Williams will hold a protest against her guardianship in New York and Los Angeles on Tuesday, April 1st. Wendy Williams recently amped up her demands to be free of a restrictive guardianship that she alleges controls every aspect of her life, but her desire to end it wasn't always this way. 3 years ago, Williams allegedly agreed with the courts to be overseen by her court-appointed legal guardian, Sabrina Marissi. We don't know if this is true, guys, because they could be lying on her, so we really don't know if what they're saying is even factual. Now, the report further states, since May 2022, the former TV host, 60, has been living under a legal guardianship that oversees both her finances and health. Williams is currently living in a luxury, high-rise assisted living facility in New York to address her cognitive issues and dementia diagnosis in 2023. Marissi is the only person who currently has unfettered access to her. Williams' family told People last year that she can call them, but they cannot call her themselves. Also, guys, I saw a doctor on TikTok, and he's a neuroscientist or a neurologist, and he's saying that Wendy has been able to successfully reverse her dementia, as per that doctor, not my own words, from a TikTok video. So something shady is going on with this lady, and they're holding her against her will. But let us continue. They're saying, however, Williams healthcare advocate Ginalisa Monterroso exclusively tells People that Williams initially wanted to be placed in a guardianship with the courts. She claims her client didn't know all her rights would be taken away, including having no access to the internet or a cell phone. In early 2022, Williams' 24 years old son, Kevin Hunter Jr., and her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, were the subject of public scrutiny when the court filing showed that Wells Fargo froze her accounts after her financial advisor at the time, Lori Schiller, alleged that she was of unsound mind in a letter to the court on February 4th, 2022, and obtained by People. Williams claims Wells Fargo had denied her any access, whether online or otherwise, to her financial accounts, assets, and statements for more than 2 weeks. This is so horrible, so sad. And it is so questionable, because even if we look at what is happening now, Wendy's son seems to be having financial challenges as well, because we're hearing that he's going to get evicted again. He has a large sum outstanding on his rent, and the internet believes that the child is like the father. So as such, they really don't know what's going to happen to him. But I'm going to say that he's pretty young and he can always fix his finances. It's never too late. He has a lot of life ahead of him. Now, they're saying that Hunter Jr. was Williams' power of attorney and reportedly took a large sum of money from her account, ultimately raising flags at the bank. The bank successfully petitioned a New York court to have Williams first placed under temporary financial guardianship that turned into a full guardianship under the state law of New York. The court document stated at the time that Wells Fargo had several $million of Williams funds in its possession. The bank, in its filings to the court, said it froze the funds because Wells Fargo has strong reason to believe that Williams is a victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. It did not specify who or what is exploiting or unduly influencing Williams. Now, Monterroso now claims that Williams thought that because Wells Fargo flagged the account and that it went through the courts, they would protect her financially. She wanted to make sure nobody's in her money and she would be fine, adds Monterroso. She kind of felt like, hey, I have the court, they're going to side me, a money person, I'm going to be good. I would think the same too. I think she actually thought that, but then they shifted everything on her. They're saying in no way did she think that our old life was going to be taken away from her. A month after the Guardian was appointed, Williams was caught on camera passed out at a Louis Vuitton store drunk. She entered a wellness facility starting in September 2022 and has been living at another facility in New York for the past few years. A lot of people would be like, well, I would question the guardianship more, but when everything is happening so quickly and the bank is saying somebody's trying to take your money and there's something going on, you're just trying to kind of save yourself, says Monterroso. Why would you not trust the courts, right? Why would the courts become your enemy? But under Williams' guardianship, she can no longer decide where to live, how to spend her money, or have a bank account. She can't vote, marry, or decide the doctors she'd like to use or what friends she can visit. This is so horrible because no one deserves to have their life taken away like that. And I know you guys agree with that. So they're saying she cannot choose, not even what friends can visit her at the facility. She has to get special permission from Marissi and sometimes even Judge Lisa A. Sokoloff, who is overseeing her affairs, to travel out of state. So she's not even been able to get permission at times. You have no rights, says Monterroso. Somebody in prison has more rights than a person put under a guardianship. As far as the Williams family petitioning to be her guardian in the interim, Monterroso says that her client really didn't want her family to be involved. She didn't want to be a kind of burden to them with anything, she adds. Whew, this is so concerning, guys. Like, it is super, super concerning. And I think that if there wasn't such mishandling of her money, then things would have worked out differently. It really, really showed that, people trusted her son to take care of her, but someone was there manipulating her son on what to do, how to do, and when to do. Now, they go into talk about Wendy, is able to get counsel on her case. People are now listening. They go into all the interviews that she did prior. She broke down. She was emotional and all of that jazz. So they spoke about the handwritten note she held up at the window. She was transported to the hospital via ambulance and all of that jazz. But other than that, it's just a report about, her never wanting to be handled in such a way. So we're going to have to see what happens going forward. But the GoFundMe so far has said to raise over $50,000 to support her legal fight. The march has already took place. It has already taken place. So we're going to have to wait for the next update. But guys, this is so sad, so unfortunate. And oftentimes it really shows you that The people that you trust the most oftentimes are the ones who will be the first to betray you. But that's all I have to share in this video. Let me know what's your take while you're at it. Give this video a big thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you guys in the comment section. Peace.